I am your host, Fat Dag, and you're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Twitter at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. Before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points! Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together, because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 41 of WhysAdvice, and I opened the show today with an email that out of Julie, which I thought was kind of cool. We're at episode 41. We're rocking through this. You guys continue to check in. Operation Fat Dag is well underway. You guys are doing phenomenal work with that. I can't believe that I get to carry your message forward and spread the message of hope that you've written, and I get to hand deliver them on your behalf. So that makes me really excited. The date for that is I keep saying September. It's May 23rd, so it's coming right up. So go ahead if you want to get something in. The address is in the previous episode, Operation Fat Dag. But really, at this point, I'm good. I will always find a way to use them. And how cool would it be if I gave them each a plan with a 4-week plan or a 5-week plan? And so open this one on week 1, this one on week 2, this one on week 3. And if we had enough to do that, where I can give them a 6-week plan or a 7-week plan, that would be really, really exciting. So that's how I'll use the extras if there ends up being any extras. And so thank you for continuing to support that. But like I said, Julie writes in, and she simply says, "Hi, Fat Dag, thanks to one of your podcasts, I learned what the blue dots are for. Can you now explain Fitpoints? I'm fairly certain I should be earning some more, but not quite sure why, how, when, or what do I do with them after I've earned them? Thank you for all the support you give with your ongoing podcast, connect messages, Facebook, Twitter, entries, etc. Your encouragement is very helpful, Julie." Julie, Fitpoints are, here's where you're probably not going to like the answer here. Fitpoints are different for everybody. And so one of the things that I know when we do this journey is there are no two ways to work the plan. So if you're relying on someone to say, hey, here's how you earn them, here's how you get them, here's what you do with them, that's not the answer that you're going to get at this go around. I'll give you some information, I'll give you some guidelines, and you can kind of work it into your own journey, but it's truly important that you understand why you're doing that, why you're tapped into that, and then from that point on, you develop a how that continues to work for you. So the basic premise of a Fitpoint is we all know, the very generic term for weight loss is to burn more calories than you consume, right? So that is in the very root of most any sort of weight loss plan. That's kind of what we want to do is we say, you got to work out a little bit. You got to burn more calories than you're consuming. If you do that, your body will release the weight. So under the Weight Watcher plan, we know not all calories are equal. So we've converted them to smart points, what we call it. And then if you want to track your activity, we want to give you credit for doing that activity. So if you go for a run, if you go for a walk, if you spend time in the yard, if you walk the dog, if you play golf, any of those activities you do, if you wear a step tracker, all of that stuff, your daily steps translate to activity or motion or movement. So as you do that, we recognize that that's calories that you're burning and expending. And so we track them as Fitpoints. The best thing I think you can do with your Fitpoints, I think if you just keep an eye on them, the app will automatically track them for you. It'll set a goal automatically based on what you got the week before, the day before, and you want to just continue to hit those goals. There is a way for you to set up your tracker where if you'd like to, you can, instead of swapping from your weeklies, you can swap from your Fitpoints first. So you would eat your dailies. After your dailies, you would eat your your Fitpoints. After your Fitpoints, you would then dig into your weeklies. That's one way to set it up. Another way to set it up is you eat your dailies. After you eat your dailies, you dig into your weeklies. When your weeklies are gone, you dip into your Fitpoints. The third way is to set it up where you eat your dailies, you eat your weeklies, and then you don't at all touch your Fitpoints. So you often see on Connect, people have trackers that go negative. They faithfully track and they honestly track, and so that causes them to go negative. I'm not a big fan of the negative tracker. I believe when you're out of points, you stop eating points. It's not to say I haven't had a negative tracker, but in general, the plan works best if you're out of points, you stop eating points. So what I like to do on my journey is I like to make sure that my tracker is set up so that I eat my dailies first. I eat my weeklies second, and then after that I eat any fit points that I've earned for the week. At that point, I should never see a negative tracker. So for me, I will know that if I start digging into my weekly, my fit point allowance, based on the points that I've earned, it prevents the tracker from going negative. But it really just shows me that, hey, I need to go do a little more exercise to keep that from going negative if I'm going to, and I don't want it to be negative. And so that's how I prevent my tracker from going negative, is it causes me to get up and go earn some more fit points. Now, we know not all fit points are created equal. So, a good run will get you 3 to 6 fit points depending on the time and the distance and the intensity level. Well, that's not a ton of fit points. And so if you're wearing a step tracker, you get a point for every so many steps. I don't know the direct correlation. I think it's about 1,000 steps is a point, somewhere in that ballpark. I'll have to do an analysis on it. But if you log your steps, you'll see that is a correlation. But depending on what those steps, how much intensity you put in those steps, it may not be an accurate reflection. So just because you've earned fit points, I don't like to eat them one for one. So generally when I dig into my fit points, if I have to, because I'm running more or working out more, I'll try to reserve about a quarter of them. I don't want to eat much more than about, 25 to maybe 50% of what I've earned for the week. And that continues to have a nice steady decline. Now, it certainly also depends on where you are in your journey. In the weight loss phase, I didn't at all touch my fit points. I wanted to lose weight. And so I wanted my fit points to be extra credit in my weight loss journey. As I reached goal in lifetime and my intensity in my activity increased, I found that I needed to eat more fit points because I just wasn't getting enough food because I was burning too much of it off. So here's where I say you need to figure out what works for you. You need to set a goal, set a plan, and say, I want to earn this many fit points. I want to use my fit points, or I don't want to use my fit points. Analyze that data for 3 to 4 weeks. At the end of that 3-week plan, 3-week stretch, if you like the result you have, continue with it. If you don't like the result you have, that's when you start making adjustments. But the beautiful thing about this entire plan is that you're in control. You get to figure out what works for you. But just because this person is earning fit points doesn't mean that, and in eating them, that doesn't mean that everyone needs to eat fit points. So it's a crazy answer to give you the synopsis of what they are, but how you use them is going to be your own determination. But what we know is why you use them. And why you're on the plan is to get healthy. So if your goal is to just continue to improve your health, earning fit points will help you kind of keep that on plan. Your goal should never be to see how much food we can eat. So therefore we continue to work out so that we can eat more food, because one of the dangers there is if you go work out and then you earn 10 fit points in a crazy workout, and then you go grab an unhealthy snack as a reward, you never break that addiction cycle to the food that got you in trouble in the first place. So you shouldn't be working out solely for the purpose of that treat or snack. But again, it's your plan. If that works for you, that works for you. But I think you'll find it'll be more difficult to stay on the plan doing it that way. So Julie, I hope that helps explain fit points for you. And let's see how many you get. Put a goal out there. See what your app says. Go to the top, click on the activity tab, and see how many fit points you've earned currently, and just try to slowly increase that number and see where it goes. So thanks for that. Mary writes in and says, Mike, I have to tell you what a great thing you've got going with your podcast. I joined Weight Watchers in January 2016. I'm down 49 pounds. I will make 50. You're a fabulous wingman. Thank you. Very cool. 49 pounds and going for 50. I like it. If you've hit 49 pounds, you can hit 50. You don't lose 49 pounds by accident. You lose 49 pounds because you're focused on the plan. You're disciplined. You're getting it done. So 50 is just a matter of time. And I'm guessing based on the date of the email, by the time that this hits the air, by you hearing this, you're already down your 50 pounds and you're working on 51. So congrats to that. Thanks for the email. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. And it's an honor to walk this journey with you. Next up, David writes in. David says, I listened to my very first podcast and it was from your channel. Great job. Looking forward to tuning in again soon, David. Hey, David, thanks for listening. I really appreciate you being out there. One of the really things that I'm having a little bit of difficulty doing is I get a handful of email from people who don't understand what a podcast is. And I was in that boat not too long ago. I didn't truly know. And so it's difficult for some people to find it. So depending on where you're listening, if you're listening in Stitcher, if you're listening to in SoundCloud, if you're in iTunes, I think we're on Podbean. The show is on many different channels and it gets rebroadcasted through RSS feed everywhere. So depending on where you found it, the absolute best place is Google Play and the iTunes Store. If you're in either there, click subscribe. That app will give you it automatically. But what I've gone ahead and done to ease that burden, because a lot of people don't understand it, is I've got an app in development. And so pretty soon you'll be able to go to the App Store and click on Fat Dag and you'll download the Fat Dag app. And that app will automatically have every episode that you can just play it directly from your phone without having to go through any other third party. So depending on where you're listening, it makes it difficult to find it. So I'm hoping that alleviates that for you. So, David, you're not alone when this is the first time you listen to a podcast. So, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being a great wingman. It's always glad to hear from you. So, next up, Dianne out of Naperville. Dianne, Naperville, Illinois writes in, it's a pretty nice email. It says, hi, I am Dianne. I want to start off to thank you for all that you do. Your podcasts are very inspirational and motivating. I've listened to them all. A couple of them have really hit home with me. I've been on Weight Watchers for nearly 3 years and lately been struggling with plateaus. At Thanksgiving, I had a personal goal of 100 pounds. Since then, losing has been a little or not at all. In one podcast, number 28, about focus, it really hit home. I realized now that I was worrying or focusing on what all the other members on Connect were doing, whether how fast they were losing or how much exercise they were doing. And I lost sight of my own journey. Since that podcast, I refocused on me. I took my measurements again because I work out at least 5 days a week when I wasn't doing that before. And I saw that I lost 10.5 inches since September when I first took them. That was an eye-opener. Also, I looked at my food. You said on plateaus that may be something you changed or are not doing now. Well, I saw that I was not eating enough of or all of my points. A family member told me they didn't think I was eating enough for the increase of workouts. I kept eating less so I would lose weight. Wow, eat more within your points and lose weight. What a concept. So this month I've had more blue dots than ever, and for the last 5 weeks I've lost something. Total for the month, 3.6 pounds, so total weight loss is 109 pounds. As for me and my fitness, besides taking an hour-long fitness dance class called WORK, W-E-R-Q, I've adapted the attendance goal. I work from 8 to 5 or 6, so even if I'm tired after work, I just show up and I do what I can. Usually ends up being 35 to 40 minutes. Well, thank you again for the podcast and for all that you do, Dianne. Hey, Dianne, great job. 109 pounds is absolutely fantastic. You know the level of discipline and dedication and focus that takes. It does not happen by accident. And so a couple things in your email that I really want to address, and I saw this on Instagram today, which I thought was really timing and poignant. It says, the flower does not look at the flower next to us and decide how to bloom. It just blooms. Just focus on you. This journey is difficult enough. Unless you do exactly what someone next to you is doing, and I mean exactly, you wake up at the exact same time, you take every single breath the same, you take every single step the same, you do every single movement the same, you eat the exact same food, you go to the exact same gym for the exact same amount of time, you drive the exact same route. Unless you do all that, you're going to have different results. Oh, and by the way, if you do all that, you had to have started with the same exact body composition. So it is absolutely impossible to mirror somebody's every single movement and every single gesture and every single the progress on this plan. So you're right in by reframing your focus back to you. If you focus on what you're doing, then you have the determination and the self-discipline to get it done. So I'm really glad to see that you've been able to take in that step. And when you now focus on your food and you work in your weeklies into your plan and you work in the food that we want you to eat, that's what your body needs for nourishment. And that's how you were able to reach 109 pounds weight loss. So that is outstanding work. I'm super proud of you. I'm super excited to see that you're 109 pounds down. Depending on where you are in your journey, you're either really close to goal or you have the ability to get to goal. If you've lost 109 pounds, getting to a point where you no longer want to lose any weight, when you want to hop on that scale for the very last time in a weight loss mode, it's just a matter of time. You have the ability to get it done. You've proven that you have the discipline, that you have the focus to do this. You've proven that you have the tools to do this. So go get it done. And thanks for your email, Dianne. It's exciting to read an email like that. 109 pounds, it's got to be life-changing. You have to feel amazing. You've got to look amazing. And I'm super proud of you. Thanks for writing in. So what is it that you're celebrating? I want to share that on the air. Go to fatdag.com, click on podcast, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them into the show. You can always go on Instagram, Twitter, WhysAdvice. Go ahead and shoot me a text or a tweet out through there. We'd be glad to talk it through with you, because this show is about what we're doing together. It's about us working together all together, and that's what brings the community together. So thank you for that, and that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has absolutely nothing to do with luck. You got to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goals and go after it. I wish you good focus.